Hey guys! Oop, I had my stream on. Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode of the Sadness podcast. Today we have Kana, which is a friend of mine from Discord.
Hey, yeah, what's up? So
Alright,
awkward. It's the dumbest thing I've ever said. Oh my goodness.
don't worry, there is no one on the stream. No one's here.
Good. Okay. That's all right then. It's all right.
There's HK who's here, who's in a Discord convo with other people.
Hi, HK.
Alright. Let's actually talk about something, Kana. What do you want to talk about today? Tell me.
Um, I don't know, or whatever you want to talk about. I don't mind. I recently finished my leaving cert, like schooling, so that's fun.
You finished
Yeah.
school?
Yeah, like I sat my final exams like
Dude.
last week or the week before, so now I'm kind of free for like the summer, and then I gotta go to college.
Are you ready for college?
Absolutely not. I'm terrified. Like I'm excited, but I'm absolutely terrified.
Oh my god. College is so bad too.
Don't tell me that. Oh
it,
my god.
don't worry. In the first year is the worst. After that it's easy.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know
I
what
mean,
I don't know why they made the first year so bad, to be honest.
I think it's just kind of getting there because like you're at home for like most of your life, and then I'm kind of like, oh my god, I have to live on my own. I have to cook my own meals,
Oh, you're
and
gonna
I have to cook.
that
I
is.
can't cook.
Can you not do some like pasta?
Okay, I can do pasta, but
That's
okay.
not real food.
This is a genuine fear I have. I'm terrified of. I don't even like think. I'm terrified of like cutting chicken and
Yeah.
like cooking it because I'm so scared I'll give myself food poisoning.
Oh yeah,
Because
chicken.
knowing me, I would.
Dude, chicken is the absolute worst meat to cook.
Don't tell me that. Oh my
Just
God.
just don't get chicken. Get something else. Get beef.
Like what?
Get like
Like
pre-packaged meals.
yeah.
Fuck it.
Or I might just go vegetarian then.
Yeah,
Get chicken
fuck
nuggets
meat.
every now and then.
I wanted to ask you this. Alright, so you're going to college and you're
Yeah.
scared of college. Um,
Yes.
why are you scared of college? Did you hear some like people talk about it or something like that?
I think it's just the fact that I'm gonna be on my own for the first time.
Yeah.
And so I can be like, oh my gosh. Like you're in a place and you don't really know any people. Like you might know like one or two people. But apart from that, it's kind of like, yo, like you're on your own and there's not really anyone else there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, let's say if I was to go like to the capital city of like the country I live in, it would be like no one I know lives there at all. So it's like, oh my God. Ugh. I don't think I'd
The
stick it. Do you know what I mean?
I do hate the idea of being uprooted and like
Mm.
being put where you don't know anyone. That sounds horrible. I just
No,
I just took the train for 2 hours instead, personally.
see, the thing is, I would do that. Like, there's a college in a city that I absolutely love, and it's the college I want to go to, and it has the
Yeah.
exact course I want to do, which is criminology and German.
Ooh.
But if I feel like I've set my expectations to if I get anything less
Yeah.
than that course and that college, I'm gonna be like, I'm not gonna do school for a while. I'd be like, I'm gonna drop out for a year and then try again.
Yeah, yeah, I see. What would you do if you
But
dropped out, by the way?
I don't know. I'd probably try and get a job. But like that's kind of not something I want to like I want to get a job obviously,
Yeah, yeah.
but I want to go to college. Like that's the one thing I want. And okay, I won't lie to you. Over here, we've got this thing called the CAO, so you fill out like all of like the college courses and the like colleges you want to go to.
Yeah.
And I got accommodation in one place, and I really like the city, and like I love like the colleges and things like that. So I put all of the courses that I have in that city up to the top, just to make sure I go to my accommodation. I know it's the dumbest thing to do, but because I actually have accommodation is so hard to get. Like I have a friend and she has tried so hard to get like campus accommodation, digs,
Yeah.
living in other people's houses, and she's been not able to do it. And she's stressing. And I'm stressing beside her because I'm like, oh my God,
I
I feel kind of guilty that I got accommodation and she didn't. Do you know what I mean?
That's kind of the thing that I really hate about school is because you have like a time limit.
Yeah.
And you need to do everything within that time limit, or you just miss the year, and you, instead of like being able to come into school like a month in, you need to wait an entire year, and then
Yeah,
you can try again, which is kind of like,
exactly.
that's kind of the worst part of the school system, in my opinion, being forced to redo an entire year of everything.
Like,
Like, come on.
yeah, I'd see I wouldn't be able to like um if I had to like repeat a year,
Yeah.
like I won't lie to you, I wanted to get out of secondary school and like high school as quickly as possible
Yeah.
because don't get me wrong, I loved the school, but my God, like if I had to repeat another year, I would have gone cracked completely. I wouldn't have been able to stick it at all.
Well, secondary school is like the worst thing on the planet.
Oh, it is. Oh, it is completely.
It's like
Complete.
you are at the one point in life where you don't want to see anyone, forced to be with other people who are pieces of shit,
Yeah.
forced to do things you don't want to do. It's like
Yeah.
everything bad possible at once.
And then like I went to an all girls secondary school, like and that they're like single sex schools are really common, like where
Yeah.
I live. And I won't lie to you, like the girls I met there, some of them are probably the best friends I will ever make in my life. Like they're so caring and things like that.
Yeah.
But then there's just you just and there's gonna be people like this in every school, in every job and everything like that that you just don't get on with.
Yeah. Of
And
course.
it just drives you mad because you're like, oh my God,
Yeah.
just
Especially
leave
when
me
it's
alone.
at school, because
I know.
you need to go back. You cannot be like, okay, I hate this person. I never want to see this person again. You just kind of have to see them every day.
Exactly, yeah. And you're just there, you're like, oh, like
I don't
I
want to
don't want to
go.
see you. I don't want to see you.
I remember I used to hate everyone in my class with like a burning passion.
Did
And
you really?
yeah,
Oh.
I used to go on Discord and complain about everything to everyone.
See, I've got like the girls that I had in my class, like I was really lucky. Like most of them were genuinely really sound,
Yeah,
and like I'll definitely talk to them like after school and things like that. But there's some girls like just in the year because there was 120 girls in my year, and some of them I will see them at a reunion and be like, "Hi, how are you?" Just be like, "Okay,"
yeah,
like I will never see them outside a setting like that. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Because they don't click as like as personalities and things like that. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
I do get it. I have the same in my when I used to go to school. I had the exact same thing. I despised everyone, but I was forced to be civil towards them instead of hurling insults at them, which I feel
Yeah.
like is like the natural course of things. When you don't like someone, you just insult them.
Yeah. See, what I would do is I'd keep away from that person at all costs. Like
Yeah,
if they come in the room, I'd just kind of be like, okay, I'm gonna go get lunch. Bye. Like I'd run down to the
yeah,
lunchroom. I didn't want to be in that room. It's like I was really lucky that I didn't really have much, like many people that I didn't like up until like probably my last 2 years in
yeah,
school. And there was just one girl, and bless her, we just didn't click. We just didn't get on at all. And it was just kind of, it was not that, I'm not gonna say that I
bike away.
didn't.
Sorry.
It's not. No, no, that's all right. It was just kind of like, oh, you know? And it's
Hmm.
just like we were just two conflicting personalities. And I'm not gonna say that she annoyed every fiber of my being because, but we just didn't get on.
Yeah, you can insult her live on air if you want. I don't mind.
No,
I do it all the time.
I come back to bite me in the ass, so I'm just gonna.
Nah, it's okay. Oops. All right. So, I actually kind of admire the fact that you know what you want to do.
Thank you.
Because
I have,
me, when I was going to college, or university, I had no ideas of what the hell I was going to do. I knew it had to do with computer science. So I went with like a course that would allow me to do any job in computer science.
yeah.
And
See,
that didn't work out at all.
see, sometimes you just don't click with a course, and that's completely fine, you know? Like you might have your mind set on something. Like
Yeah.
I could get into criminology and absolutely hate it. And the fact that I've planned the next 10 years of my life around this course
Yeah.
is terrifying.
What what
It's
would
so,
what would you do if you didn't like criminology?
probably either A, suck it up
Yeah.
and just deal with the course, or B, I'd probably take a gap year,
Yeah.
really find what I would want to do,
Yeah.
and then try and go into that whichever way I could. So,
Do you think that uh, trading stability for a possibility to do something that you want to do is a good idea, or should you like stick with whatever you're already good at?
you see, that's a good question. It's kind of like it's taking a leap of faith,
Yeah.
like like there's millions of kids these days, like being asked, "Oh, what do you want to do when you grow up?" And when
Yeah.
you're a child, it's so, black and white. Oh, I want to be a nurse. I want to be a famous footballer. I want to be a police officer. Because those are the most, like, those are the jobs that you would know from like a young age and things like that.
Yeah.
But when you're growing up, like, you don't know what you want to be.
Yeah.
For, uh, for so long, I wanted to be a nurse. I had a real craving to be a nurse. And then, but now, like, I really can't stand the sight of hospitals and the thought of having to go in and potentially lose people on a daily basis. That's something
Yeah.
I can't bear the thought of.
Yeah, that
And
sounds like a nightmare.
yeah, it
But
really does. I salute and I praise like people who work in that, like the healthcare
yeah.
like sector, because that must be like tough, and it's all that stuff, Like
Yeah.
fair play to them. I wouldn't be able to do it.
Honestly, neither could I. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a doctor because I wanted to help people, but I could never be like hard enough to be able to deal with
Mm,
like people dying because of me. Because it's really
yeah.
like if someone has something, you have the ability to save them, but you also have the ability of fucking up and killing them. And even if it's not your fault, it's still like they're still
You get
dead.
in. And like I couldn't bear the thought of not being able to help someone and like not being able to like get them through what they're going through, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
It
But
was just
a lot of jobs
yeah.
are nightmares.
Yeah, and it's like I feel like you need to get a job that you like it's very rare that you see someone who truly loves a job.
Yeah,
Like like my dad, he was a police officer and I have never seen a man be so happy to go into a job. He adored that job. He was
yeah,
in the police for 30 years and like he loved it. He absolutely adored going into work every day. And that's something I want to find. Like I want to be able to be like, yes, I'm doing what I love because I can. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
yeah,
That's what everyone wants. You don't want your life to become something like part of it you spend it somewhere you don't want to be, which is kind of
yeah,
a nightmare.
yeah,
You want to do something that you enjoy, that you feel like is good for everyone.
exactly. Yeah, and you want to be able to like give your heart and soul to that job.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Be it, I don't know, any job in the world. You know, makeup artist, you know, content creator,
yeah.
nurses, doctors, firemen, like any job. Like that's yeah, gosh, yeah, that's something I aspire to have, like that pure love and
Yeah.
want to make the world a better place. So, as cliche as that sounds.
No, no, that's that's adorable. I really like that way of thinking, dude.
Thank you, thank you.
It's a good idea to find a something. It's like the what everyone says. Find a what everyone says. I'm talking like a really Facebooky kind of person right now, but everyone always says like, yeah, that's the kind of thing you would read on Facebook. People say, find a job that you enjoy and you'll never work a day in your life. Did you ever hear
Yeah,
that?
I did, yeah, gosh. And to be honest with you, I probably have seen it on Facebook.
It is it is a Facebook sentence.
Like
It's
like live that life.
yeah, live, laugh, laugh. If I see another live, life, love post unironic, I might just snap.
I would. I've
I
seen them every. My
I
friend says it unironically. She's like, "Oh, like live, laugh, love," and I'm like, "No, just stop."
shut up, shut up. Did
I'm
you
like,
ever
"Oh,
did you ever see one hanging on the wall?
I have seen one hanging on the wall. Mike, oh no, fun, not really a fun story, but I had to bring like a piece of paper to one of the guidance counselors at my school. And I walk into her office and she's just got a big live, laugh, love on the wall. And I look at her and I'm like, Miss, no, Miss, no.
Oh no.
And she's like, oh, like, do you like the thing? And like, I didn't want to say no. So I was just like, yes, it's very nice.
Should have said
Great
no.
message.
You should have said no.
I should have been honest, but she seemed so proud of it. So I was like, it's very nice.
It's cool.
It's really original.
I hate people who do fake positivity. I
Yeah,
I really despise them. You can life isn't fucking positive.
I know.
It's
Like,
it's awful as a matter of fact.
you gotta see, there's life is one of those things where, it's I won't lie to you. Life can be bad. It can be. And you can just be, down on your luck and you can be,
Yeah.
hit thing after thing. But you gotta try and find like the little things. Like I won't lie to you. I saw a puppy sneeze today, and it filled my heart with joy. And
See
it, yeah.
that if you are, this is my point, right? If you're positive all the time, the little things will no longer be something good.
Oh, exactly.
Because
Exactly.
you're like poisoning yourself, which is one of the reasons why I hate forced positivity so much. I've hated it
Mm,
since it started off on YouTube.
yeah.
When I was a kid, every YouTuber was positive, which I found incredibly lame even as a kid. And now
Mm.
it's still the case, even though a lot of YouTuber came out being like, yeah, being positive is fucking ass. No one is positive all the time. Life sucks. It's like, yeah, of course it sucks. Life is really bad, but there's a lot of things inside of it that makes you happy. And if
Cool.
and if you are happy all the time, you're just going to completely ignore the real things that make
Oh,
you
yeah.
happy.
Oh, yeah. Like, it's impossible to be happy all the time.
Yes.
It, no human is physically possible. And you have to allow yourself have days where you're like, look, I'm not feeling great. I'm struggling, And like
Yes.
that's natural.
It
And
is natural.
and
It it
people always try to push that kind of side away, and you're like,
yeah.
no,
They
don't do that.
talk about did people often talk about it like it's some kind of like shameful. Like
Yeah.
you're not supposed you are allowed to feel this way, but you're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to show it in
Yeah,
society. That's not
society,
society. But
dude.
but people like it's so like let's say if someone's having a cry,
Yeah.
and you see them and people are normally like, oh, like they try and stay away from them because people don't really know how to react to negative emotions, in all honesty.
Yeah.
People are kind of, oh, there, no, it'll be all right. But no, you can say like, look, yeah, you've had a bad day. And
Yes.
sometimes if I'm having a cry, I want someone to be like, yeah, you
Yeah.
have had it rough.
You
You
want
have.
you want
I want to feel
people
justified
you
in
want
my cry,
you want people to show empathy and not sympathy.
Exactly.
Sympathy is going like, oh yeah, don't worry, there's a silver lining to this, and empathy is going like, yeah, dude, I can relate to this. This just sucks. This is
And
the feeling that most people want instead of the other
yeah,
one.
and I think most people want to see it as like they want to lift people up, and that's great. Like
Yeah.
I hate seeing my friends cry. Like it breaks me up inside, but sometimes you have to step back and see what's actually happening. And sometimes I don't want someone to ask me if I'm all right. I want them to be like take it. Like if I was having a cry and I walk out, like if I'm having a cry in the school bathrooms
Yeah.
and I walk out and someone goes, "Oh, you're right." I'm like, don't look at me. Don't talk to me. Just let me have my emotional time.
Let
And
me
it's
be.
let me be sad for a minute. And like people expect you to be happy all the time, and that's physically impossible. If you're happy all the time, you're not human.
Yeah, it's like how people expect, not actually people, more like society expects you to do the like a task in exchange for money every day for
Yeah.
like the rest of your life, which is that's not possible. You cannot take a human, which is a being that does like so many different things, and then like put him behind an office chair in an office building and tell him to do the exact same task all every single day of his life.
Yeah. Like humans as by nature, like we're so complex. And
Yes.
it's like, and some people are perfectly happy doing a 9 to 5,
Yeah.
and more power to you if you do. Like fair play to you. But at the same time, there's some people, and the thought of that job just makes them shudder, and that's fine. If you want to be a makeup artist, you go be a makeup artist. If you want to, I don't know, dance on one leg and be like, oh, I'm like, if you want to be a clown, you be a clown. You
Yeah.
do whatever you think will give you the most self, actualization. It's like, oh, what is it? Mas, Mas, Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Yeah,
It's like a big old pyramid, and it's got 5 layers. And my business teacher's going to be disappointed in me because I can't remember any of them. But the top one is self-actualization.
yeah, it's doing
And
something you want to do.
yeah, something and that fear, like the self-actualization, people say like, oh, you will never actually be fully self-actualized.
Yeah,
But I think in a way you can be, like you can,
it's
if you can bring yourself to a place where you feel, confident in yourself, you're like in a good place,
mentally.
like you're, yeah, but like
Yeah,
you can be like confident in your emotions, like allow yourself to have bad days, allow yourself to
yes,
have good days, yourself to have mediocre days. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
And it's yeah,
I 100% agree with that. I think I think the how we build the world that we live in. A lot of people think that happiness comes with like some dumb shit. Like people
mm,
think happiness comes with like a relationship. Some people think happiness comes by owning thing, by making more money, by
yeah,
being good looking. And like and most of it is like you see someone being happy and you're like, why is this person happy and why am I not happy? And instead
yeah,
of and since being happy is such a like a complicated concept that makes no sense whatsoever, most people go, oh yeah, this person is happy because he has a better car than me, so if I have this car I'm also going to be happy. So instead of taking the steps of actually becoming happy, which is uh like taking care of yourself mentally and being uh like realizing what you have is good enough and stuff like that, people just want
yeah.
more and more and more and more, which is like consumerism, but like on cocaine.
Oh yeah, massively. Yeah.
I hate consumerism so much. I studied ads in school, like the ads that you see on TV.
Oh yeah.
And I saw some shit, dude. It changed the way I see the world, but like in the worst way possible. Because
Oh God.
hey, Polly, welcome to the stream. Because when I was reading, I had like a little book with like ads in it, and what they would do
Mhm.
is show you a picture of an ad and be like, okay, what do you think in this ad? Like, what do you think each part of this ad does? And I would look at it and I would see nothing. It's just like a picture of a dude standing next to a car. Like,
Yeah.
that's a dude standing next to a car. And then it had like a 2-page explanation saying people read from left to right. So the dude is standing on the right. The dude is this age group, which means that he's someone you can trust because that's around the age of your dad. He's standing next to a red car. Red is made for people to be more aggressive, which drives up sale by 10%. Like, holy shit, dude.
There's so much thought that goes into this stuff.
I'm
And
like,
it's like,
this is a
what?
picture of a guy standing next to a car, and like all of it is made to manipulate you into thinking that the car is gonna make you happy.
And everyone's like, oh shoot, that's a dude standing next to a red car. I gotta buy the car.
Yeah, and the worst part is that it actually works. Like they had numbers. They're like how many cars we sold before the ads, how many cars we sold after the ads.
And I bet the difference was just
And it was like
exponential.
20% more cars have been sold, which is insane.
Or
It's crazy. And I look at this, especially for a car, because a car you buy one, and then you never buy a car again.
yeah.
And I was looking at that, and ever since that day, every time I see an ad, I'm like, okay, which part is fucking trying to manipulate me?
And you're like, it's something you have to think about. Like I studied business in secondary school, so it's something like we did like a section on marketing, and it was
Oh
like
god.
what businesses do to like draw you in. And it's like, They do so many little things like the four P's. So it's like price, what was it?
Yeah,
Price, place, promotion,
yeah.
and price,
S-
place, promotion, and something else. I don't remember.
yeah.
Promotion, product.
Sorry.
No, it's grand. And
Sorry,
it's
it's 1 a.m.
it's all right, bro. Sleep is good. Sleep is good.
Yeah,
I don't sleep.
I've
I
not
don't
been. I've been not sleeping a lot personally either.
sleep. Sleep is pretty good.
I
It's
have,
important.
I have some fucked up nightmares keep me up at night. I'm gonna
Oh
be
no,
real.
a glass of warm milk would
No,
knock me.
do the warm milk thing. What actually? What were you saying about marketing? Because that actually interested me.
Oh yeah, I
Before
think
we
it's
go
like
on the milk tangent.
before we go on a tangent about what we drink before bed.
Yeah.
It's what was it? Place, price, promotion, and promotion and
Promotion.
product.
Yeah.
And it's like the way that Ace, like take like like Coca-Cola.
Yes.
The way that they designed their different cans and bottles, like the Diet Coke is actually aimed towards women because it's got that, oh, like the delicate font, oh, the cursive, oh, it's very feminine, oh, very fancy. And then like, oh wait, no, is it? And then like Pepsi, like take Pepsi Max, like it's like big bold letters and it's like supposed to appeal to like a male audience because it's like,
Yeah.
oh, like I don't want to be drinking something made for women. And that's so stereotypical, but we buy into it.
Yeah.
We buy into it so quickly.
It
And it's
it's kind of baked into
madness.
people.
Exactly, yeah. And then it's like, it's just madness. And it's,
It is
yeah.
madness. There's absolutely no way of escaping that bullshit either. You just
There's
can't.
no way.
You,
It's everywhere.
you can't just go. I don't want to be part of this society anymore, and then you leave.
There's
You're
no help button, bro. There's
you're
no help button.
oh man, and this shit happens, and so most of the time, do you know the? Actually, let's not go on that tangent because it's gonna take 5 hours to explain.
Good gosh, good gosh.
Do
Bro,
you,
it is warm in my room. Good God. But
dude?
if I open a window, a moth is going to come in. And I swear to goodness, I've been doing battle with moths for the last 2 weeks. It's too much.
I
It's too much.
for me, there's a bunch of mosquitoes that have been breaking into my room and attacking me at night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they bite. They always bite. They don't bite you on the arm because that would be easy. They bite
Mm.
you on the articulation or like on the fingers, so it's really hard to scratch afterwards.
Oh, I hate that. I used to get covered in like bites for no
Yeah,
reason. I would wake up and have four new bites. I
dude, I
used
hate
to
them.
be guzzling antihistamines. I still do because I get hives really easy. I'm allergic to it feels like everything. I can't sit on grass. I'll get a hive, which is so annoying.
Really? You can't sit on
Really?
grass?
Now I've got urticaria, so my body freaks out and it's like, oh shoot, we're allergic to something. And because we don't know what I'm actually allergic to, I could be allergic to anything.
That
So
is that's insane to like sit on grass and get the spots because of it.
yeah. But it's grand. I take my antihistamines. It
So,
just sucks because like I also have really bad hay fever. So I won't lie to you. I will be in a call with a couple of friends and I feel really bad because I will sneeze about 50 times in the span of 5 minutes. And I feel bad because I can never mute my mic on time, or if I do mute my mic, I'm kind of sitting there and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm sneezing like a dope,
yeah,
which is hella annoying for them, I assume. Well, I know myself. I'm so sorry. My phone is blowing up.
it's okay.
Oh my God. They need to, my friends need to calm down. They talk too much. Use a different group chat.
I think I've contracted some kind of hay fever too because I've been having trouble breathing in air for some reason. Need to
Really?
Yeah, I need to take like large gasps of air through my mouth, and whenever I try to do it through my nose, it's like puffy. I can't get enough through that.
Oh God.
And I've never had that before, and I'm like, bruh, am I dying because of the mold? Is it finally time for me to for both of my lungs to just fucking collapse on themselves? I hope they don't. That would be a really
I hope you
stupid way
don't,
to
bro.
die.
Bro, don't let your lungs collapse in all themselves.
It's
You're not
I
podcast.
I went to one doctor for my lungs because they like whenever I breathe in air, it went like it's how do you say it in English? It whistled.
It was.
Yeah,
Oh.
whenever
Hmm.
whenever I breathe in and then I breathe out and it like whistles in a weird way. So I was like, this might be a problem. So I went to a doctor and he was like, yeah, just walk outside and don't stay inside too much and it should fix itself. And I was like, oh, cool. And it didn't, and it's been months. And I'm like, okay, am I going to die of some dumb bullshit lung infection or some stupid shit? Because that would be really upsetting.
Oh, God. Maybe you're asthmatic.
If I have developed asthma because of it, that would be really stupid too.
Oh.
But to be honest, I don't have much trouble. I can still run and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't incapacitate me, right? It's just like it's just kind of there. And I'm like, okay, I guess I whistled through my lungs now, bro. Moment.
Hmm. You're like a what's the word? I can't think of the word.
A dumbass. Yeah, I get that
No,
a lot.
not the word I was thinking. What was it? Like a. It'll come back to me. Do you know what will happen? It'll hit me once I get into bed, and I'm gonna be like, "Oh, that's the word."
If it
I
does,
can't.
just DM it to me. I'll be awake to read it.
You just get a DM from me like, "Oh yeah, do you know what you're like?" You're like, "Oh my goodness, I'm gonna." My friends are going mad. We're all insomniacs, so they're all like, "Yo, like, let's do something," and I'm like, "Shh."
We are all insomniac. There's I've met so many people who have insomnia who are just
Mm.
like, yeah, I can't sleep. I sleep like 2 hours a night. I'm like,
Yeah. See,
bro,
I'm
what?
lucky. I'm lucky. Like, I don't need an awful lot of sleep, surprisingly. Considering how tired I get, but I can like run off for like 2 hours. Like, granted, I'll be grumpy, but apart from that, like, be grand. Just get a cup of coffee into me.
Yeah.
Monster. I have an addiction to caffeine,
Everyone has
and
an addiction to caffeine now.
I know, but I think like people who like really know me, I have the upwards of I think like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18,
Oh
19,
god.
20, 21, 22, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31,
Oh
32,
god.
33. There are, oh, I want to say like around 40 cans of Monster in my room. Granted, some of them are empty, but I drink an awful lot of Monster because,
It feels good. I get that. I used to
yeah,
also be addicted to Monster a long time ago. I had to stop because it was like starting to get really bad. I used to drink like 2, 3 a day, and I was like, okay, I need to take action before it turns into 5 a day.
no, what I got into a really vicious cycle where I drank my first Monster. I couldn't sleep at night. I was exhausted the next day, so I drank another one to keep myself
Oh
awake.
god.
And I'm
Yeah,
really susceptible to caffeine.
yeah.
So I was like wired. And then so I drank another one to help fend off the tiredness from not sleeping from the day before and the day before. So I went like I don't know how long I went, but I was like sleeping maybe like an hour a night and then just being like monster
Dude,
coffee and
you
like it
you
really spun control. And when it was like when quarantine hit and I was like, okay, I just don't need to sleep. Yeah.
did did you when quarantine hits, were you like, oh hell yeah, or were you like, oh hell no?
In all honesty, I thought it was only gonna last 2 weeks. So I was like, oh yeah, 2 weeks holiday, great. It turned out to be like 5 months of just being stuck in the house.
I've been enjoying myself. I am a really uh asocial person, and whenever it was like summer vacation, I would stay in my room for the 2 months. I wouldn't go outside because of how much I hated everyone outside. So when quarantine hits, I just didn't do anything. I just stayed inside and worked on my shit inside.
Yeah.
And everyone was starting to kind of go stir crazy because of
Yeah.
which makes sense. That's how a normal human should behave. And that's when I started to realize how abnormal I was as a person, because I had absolutely no problems staying home
Oh,
and not going outside ever.
see, I feel so bad for my family being stuck with me through quarantine, in all honesty. Like there was a good like at the beginning, like I was so convinced I had COVID. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I don't want you guys to be near me because I don't want to get you sick. And I would come down in a bother, like proper, like crying, being like, I think I caught COVID. I hadn't left the house, in all honesty. And I'd be like, I have coronavirus. Like I was so genuinely scared.
That's
And I
because
was
of the
like,
campaign they ran of like making everyone scared of COVID.
yeah, like don't get me wrong, I'm still terrified of COVID.
Yeah,
Like
of
when they
of
started
course.
bringing the schools back, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to die. And I won't lie to you, I sat on the couch and I had a cry. And my mum was like, but you'll be fine. Like you'll be wearing your mask, you'll be sanitizing. I'd be like, but I don't want to bring it home. And like at the beginning, it was just like the 6 years back. So it was only my year and I loved it. And then they brought back the years gradually. And the more it went on, the more I realized how much I didn't like the rest of the school. And when they brought back the first years, like they're like the first, like they're like the youngest year in the school.
Yeah.
I was there and I was like, oh God, I didn't, I didn't miss them because okay, in my school, like you have to walk up the corridor on the left hand side and then walk down on the right. So that obviously makes sense. I don't know what it is about them, but they just couldn't tell the difference between walking up on the left and going down the right. So they would walk in herds of just like 30, like 12-year-olds just walking through the hall at the same time. And I'm like, bro, single file, face aside.
Oh my god, you remind me of so many bad things about my old school. I remember there was this one so we had like this garage door where everyone came in through.
Yeah.
And in the garage door, you had a corridor that was connected to it, and there you had another door, and that would you would go to outside, so inside of the school.
Yeah.
And in that corridor, you always had like 20 people just standing there blocking the way because they didn't want to go outside and they couldn't go upstairs, so they just stayed there blocking the path for
Like,
everyone. And I remember this one time, like they would just block the spot for everyone, and everyone would kind of have to awkwardly shuffle through everybody to go outside. And there was this one time, one dude got really mad at everyone, and a fucking fight started
no.
in that corridor, which is like, it's so small, you can't fight in it. So they just got mad. One dude pushed the other, and he just went like an inch backward and then hit a wall. It's like you can't fight. There's no space to fight. You dumbasses. There's so the fight started and then it stopped like instantly right after because he couldn't throw a punch.
Oh God, I'm trying to think. If there any like there wasn't any major fights in my school, and if there were, they were in like the younger years, and
Yeah,
like
that's
once you
usually
get
where it starts.
yeah, and like once you get to 60, you're kind of just like, look, I'm tired. I've got to sit my leaving cert.
It
Just
Everyone wants
go.
to die at that point, so there's no point fighting.
Yeah, like when I was coming up to like actually sitting my leaving cert, it hadn't hit me, and then it hit like the 1st of June, and I was starting on the 9th, and I was like, I actually need to study. Like I need to sit down and open a book, in all honesty.
Dude, I'm gonna be real here. School was so shit. In general, that I didn't do a single homework all my secondary school.
Really?
I never did a single homework because at that point it's when my distrust and hatred for society and people in general started is in secondary school.
Yeah.
So that's what people would call like an edgy teen phase. But it wasn't an
Yeah.
edgy teen phase. It was the beginning of a insanity for me.
The
And,
beginning of the sounds fine.
yeah, and
Oh,
I was the first thing I did. I used to do my homework like first year, right? I did like 2 3 homework, and I used to bring them in, and the teacher would still yell at the entire class, and then not put the like the la, la, la. They would not give the homework back with the points. So we
no.
had no idea if the homework were actually being like
Like more.
put, yeah, or anything. So I was like,
Yeah.
why do I fucking bother like busting my ass to do homework at home when I don't want to do it? When like after school they force me to still think about school at home,
Yeah.
and and then I bring that shit back and no one does anything about it. So I stopped doing homework and no one ever said anything to me about it. So I was just like, all right then. And I just never did my homework again. And every year that you had teachers that were like, you need to do your homework. I was like, yeah, yeah, and I never did it. I also stopped filling in my agenda. I don't know if you have that.
Is it like your timetable, or was it like
It's a thing. It's a thing you're supposed to like write in. Uh, Today, I did this lesson, and for this amount of hours, and in this lesson, I did this and this.
oh yeah. Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, so you had to do that every day, and it's actually mandated by the law. Like you could have an inspector show up at school and demand your agenda, and if it's not done well, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know if it's a rumor or not, but if it's not done well, you can repeat the year because of that.
No way.
But I was so like I don't know if it's true by the way because everyone kept saying that, but I'm pretty sure that's just a school rumor. But
Yeah.
I was so fucking next level done with school's bullshit. First year of secondary school, then I just never did my agenda. And I remember one day my teacher yelled at me about it. She was like, "You need to do your agenda. Why are you not doing your agenda? It's easy. You just open it every lesson and write it down." And
Yeah.
I was like, I don't because I don't want to. and then and, and then she fell down the stairs. So that problem took care of itself.
How did she fall down the stairs? Because you can't just go, oh, and then she fell down the stairs and expect me to leave it at that.
That because she's a dumbass. That's why she tried. She's not. She was actually a really nice lady, but she tried to go down the stairs and slid because it was winter and the stairs were wet, and she broke her leg and she was gone for the rest of the school year.
Well, yeah, but expect her not to be
Yeah,
teaching with a broken leg.
Yeah, but it was like it was. This is gonna sound mean, but at the time it was kind of funny that he had an accident, and this problem. The only time my apathy for school could have like caught up to me, it didn't because the teacher broke her leg.
Oh my god, cool. Oh, good gosh. Oh, we had a it was before COVID. So every other year except mine, we used to have this thing where we'd have teachers versus students playing rounders. And one year, two teachers collided and they both broke their noses. And we were there and we were kind of like, oh, and then they came in like, oh, like, what, like, oh, no, we'll be fine. And we'd be like, no, go to the hospital. Get get whatever you need done. We'll be fine.
Jesus.
But yeah, they'd be like, oh no. And of course, it was the two maths teachers. And of course, they were best friends. So only naturally they'd be like, oh no, like it's just playful banter. And, but we'd be like, sir, your face is swelling by the day. Go to the hospital.
You have a broken bone in your face. Please go to the hospital.
Like, it's not that. It's fine.
People saying that they're fine when they're obviously not is a pretty classic in school, isn't it?
Oh, it's so like someone will be really sick in school and you'd be like, go home. They'd be like, okay, but after these three classes, and I'd be like, no, because you have two doubles and non-exam religion. Go home. They'd be like, no. I'd be like, go home. You don't need to be. If you're sick, don't be in school. Like you're looking rough.
People,
And it's
I,
like,
I don't understand
no.
people who are sick and go to school. I hated school so much. Anytime I was like slightly sick or like, oh, I can't go to school. I need to stay home and play PlayStation 3, GTA 4. Trust.
See, I won't lie, I'm a little goody two shoes. So I was like, oh no, like school. But mind you, I had like on Mondays and Tuesdays, I had 9 classes a day. And then I would on like every other day, so Wednesdays through to Fridays, I would have 8 classes a day because I don't know, that's just the way they did it. So like if I missed a day, I was either missing like 9 or 8 classes. So I was like, I can't miss that. So I'd go in dead and then just be like, just kind of barely able to keep my eyes open. And the teacher would be like, go home. I'd be like, I want to do work for no reason. For no reason. I'm as sick as a dog. And I'm like, no, I want to learn bloody algebra. No, I don't. Can't do math. I can guarantee I failed both maths exams that I did because I can't do maths at all. I can't spell either. Can't read. Barely write.
that's
Great.
that's me under my normal. Uh, that's how I am normally. Like not able to write or do math.
No, I'm mad dyslexic, like really, really dyslexic. So it's great. Oh my god. But I had a reader for the leaving cert, so it was fun. I enjoyed that. We had the crack. When I say crack, I mean like we had fun. Yeah. That I was doing.
I love the expression. I love the expressions that you use.
Just little mannerisms I've picked up.
Yeah, whenever from time to time I say a French word while I'm typing, and people are like, "What the fuck does that mean?" I'm like, "Oh shit, it's a French word, isn't it?"
Yeah.
I don't even realize that some words are French because English and French are so similar. A lot of big English words are just French words, but weirdly spelled.
Like I haven't done French in 6 years.
Like the
Uh,
word percent in
percent.
in French, percent literally translate to for 100.
Oh, sure, then.
pour is 4, and then cent is 100. So, but English people just took the word pourcent, changed it to percent. So it's like the word with a slight accent.
Percent. Yeah.
It's
I
like,
think so.
all right, dude.
And it's like I feel bad for like I feel bad for my friends because I will say stuff in Irish. Like I don't do Irish. I've used to take Irish, but now I don't because dyslexia. Um, but like I'd say stuff like I'd be like someone would say something, like ask a question, and I wouldn't know who it was directed to, and I'd be like, Misha, which means like me.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh, like Misha, and they'd be like, what? And
I,
granted, like they're used to it now, but they're like at the beginning they're like, I have no clue what that means. Or like I'd say like, oh, like what time is it? And they'd be like, oh, like Kane tell me, you know? And they'd be like, what? And like they're in like different time zones to me, so I'm asking myself, but I just happen to say it out loud.
I didn't
You
know.
know, I
I didn't know Irish was a real language. Sorry to cut you off, by the way. My bad.
was you see, Irish is a dead language. Like
Oh shit.
there's there's a place like in the west of Ireland
Yeah.
where it's called Gaeltacht, and it's an Irish only area. So, but Irish like isn't a very commonly spoken language over here, which is really sad because I find Irish fascinating. Like the way that you say words, like to say hello, it's diagwit. And it's like Dias Margaret, Constati, Tommy Gamagas, Tufain, Tommy, Mr. Fashion, all that jazz. And I think that like that's so interesting. And I want to learn like conversational
Yeah.
Irish. So like I'm able to like talk to my friends and in all honesty not have people listening in because they can't understand.
That is actually really. That is actually a really cool reason to learn a language.
It's
So
like
and it's fully dead. There's like no place in Ireland where people just talk that language instead of English.
Ireland is the only place really, but it's like it's getting so small
Yeah.
and it's sad because like Irish is a beautiful language. Like it is genuinely beautiful.
It's like
And it's like,
Celtic.
yeah. And it's
Celtic
just like,
was murdered. The people who spoke Celtic, I mean, were murdered by the Romans, so the language just died.
yeah, which is really, really sad because like there's languages that will be lost to time. Like you'll never
Yeah,
know.
yeah, like
And it's like,
the one on the Easter Islands.
exactly, yeah.
Did you know that on Easter Island, so it was a bunch of people from the surrounding island that went there because they hated everyone.
They
And
actually,
yeah, yeah, and they went on the Easter Island, and you had a bunch of people, the natives from that place who already lived there, and when they showed up, they just massacred them, and
oh,
the people that they like killed, they called them the long ears. And I was like, so are you telling me that people, the humans, showed up and killed all the elves that lived in the real world?
oh my God.
This is so bullshit. Rip Elf GF, dude.
So bad. Oh my God.
And it's like that all over history. And those guys, the long ears, we don't know anything about them except for like a few stories that comes from another people who we also massacred. So it's like
That is
two
so sad.
degrees, 2 degrees of massacring.
Oh my God. That is so, so sad. Because like that's like history we'll never know.
Yeah,
Like their traditions and things like that. Like that is that really hurts my heart. Oh my gosh.
yeah. It's like history is an like history in itself is amazing, but the people who like have records of history that come from like ancient Greece, those are like even more insane because then you had a war between the Greek city states and the Persian that waged for like I think like 200 years, probably more than that. Like they really hated each other. And there was this one Greek guy. He was like, I'm gonna go ahead and record all of this shit because the war had started like 10 days ago for him.
Oh
So
God.
so he went to Persia, like a country where Greeks are hated, and he was like, "Yeah, hello. Why are you guys killing the Greeks?" And then he went back to Greece and he did the same shit. And so he had like historical. This is amazing for the time because at the time, and if you had a historian, he would just make records of the history in his country, not the
Yeah,
enemy country.
exactly. Yeah.
And
And
that guy is
that's
regarded as the father of modern history.
fair play. Fair play. I wouldn't do that. I'd be too scared. I'd be like, absolutely not.
Me too. He also removed any kind of like superstitious part of the story.
Mm,
He kept it like really clean and logical, and he asked a lot of people so that he would have a lot of like
yeah.
I
Kept it really
yeah. And that's like insanely amazing for someone at the time. Like even the Romans didn't do that, and they're seen as the most civilized people in Europe.
yeah. Oh yeah, massively. And you know what they say about history? Like history is written by like the victors.
Yeah, exactly. History
You
being
know?
written by the victors is something that I find really, really interesting because
Yeah.
you we always there is always both history, like we always know both history, but the history that's like pushed onto everyone is always the one that comes from the winning side. Like
Yeah.
for example, if the Nazis had won, they would have just the communists would have just became the new Nazis. They would just be like, yeah, no more communism, this is no longer allowed, instead of Nazis being like seen as the actual pieces of shit that they were.
Yeah, gosh. See, history is I didn't take history in school. I wish
Yeah,
I did. A lot of writing.
it's
Um,
okay. History in school sucks ass, to be fair. You're better off
it's like
going on Wikipedia.
Wikipedia, gosh. Just gonna take my daily history lesson down Wikipedia I go. But but it's sitting there being like, oh God, like I'd love to like be me, but like go back to those times like and be like, yo, what's actually like what's happening? Like what's occurring over here, you
Dude,
know?
exactly. I wish I could go back and like every single mystery thing that has happened and actually see for myself what actually happened.
Oh, genuine.
Th-
Genuine. I'd love
there's this one affair where they found two men dead in a forest.
to
They
go.
they were both wearing masks made out of metal. I forgot what it's made, probably copper, like on their
Mm,
eyes. And they had a bottle of water and a notebook with the sentence with like notes on it that said, "At X hour, go to the forest. At X hour, drink the pills and put the glasses on." And like
mm.
no one knows what the fuck the pills were, or who the like why those guys were there.
That is madness.
And it's like, isn't that insane to find two people in costume, like in full
Oh,
suits, dead in the forest, and you don't know what it is? You just want to go and see for yourself what
yeah.
happened.
Like all that true kind of crime stuff. Like I'm a real sucker for it. Like
Oh yeah,
give me
true
like
crime. Oh my god.
unsolved murder and I'll be like, ooh, let me see what I can find, you know?
Yeah,
I go like
exactly.
full detective mode.
There's a bunch of dead people who have never been identified, who they
They're like,
actually managed to find them by other people, like doing their own research independently of the police
gosh,
through
yeah.
Wikipedia and everything. You just go there, read the article, and then go, oh yeah, I saw this person there and there.
And then just
piece
solve
it
it. Like
together. Yeah, it's crazy to be able to solve something like that by yourself.
I know, but there's like anything to do with like true crime. I'm like, yo, let me get like a pen and paper. Let me take notes. And it's something that it just drives me. Like it's something that I just want to read constantly.
Yeah, I watched stupid videos all the time on YouTube about true crimes.
Oh yeah, like I can't think what they were called. What are they called? But like it'd be like unsolved mysteries or something like that. I can't think
Yeah.
what it's called. And I'd be watching it and I'd be like, oh, like let me see if I can figure this out. Like obviously I can't. Like I'm in all honesty. What am I thinking? I'm like, oh, but maybe.
Maybe I'll
Yeah,
figure it out.
maybe maybe by some grace I'll be like, oh no, like that makes sense. Like yeah, like he did it. Like
Yeah.
very obvious.
So sometimes you, since it happened before, it's 100% like, actually 50-50. Maybe you'll figure it out. Who knows? Maybe you'll
Maybe.
maybe you'll know one thing that no one else that looked into that knew.
Maybe.
On the same topic of YouTuber who do stupid videos, I found this one video of that talks about the Secret Service of Australia,
Oh,
and they did a hostage rescue operation, but like a training exercise, right? Like it wasn't an actual hostage situation. They just wanted to train their troops to see if they
yeah.
could rescue hostage. They went into a hotel. They didn't tell anyone what they were doing, by the way. They went into the hotel with sledgehammers.
Oh my God.
The fake hostage was being held in one of the rooms, so they smashed like 4 doors looking for the hostage. After they found him, the dude that's the guy who owns the hotel went upstairs. He sees like four heavily armed, masked people with like sledgehammers smashing his hotel open. And
You know,
he's like, okay. He goes downstairs. He calls the police. Fucking cops shows up, and the secret agent tried to run away with a car. So the police gives chase. They fucking drive them off the road. They arrest everyone. And then the Australian government were like, yeah, those were actually our agents, and they fucking did an exercise, I guess, because even the government didn't know that they were doing an hostage exercise.
would they not have told the poor chap who owns the hotel, yo, by the way, we're gonna give you like a bit of money to get the doors fixed because we're going to break them down, you know? And then why would they, when the police came, why wouldn't they just go, oh, don't worry, we're Secret Service? Why would they try to leg it? There's so many things you could do so differently in that situation that would save so much.
They're so fucking stupid. And they did all of that. And the Secret Service in Australia was disarmed because of this. Because it was such a fiasco. They were like, okay, you guys don't get weapons anymore. That's it.
You guys don't get sledgehammers. You
You,
can't be trusted.
you can't be trusted with four giant sledgehammer and military graded weaponry in a random hotel that you didn't tell anyone you were in. Even the government didn't know about it, by the way. Most people didn't even know Australia had a secret service.
To be honest with you, I didn't know they had a Secret Service until right now.
I'm, go- I'm gonna send you the link to that video because one, it's a cool video, and two, the dude is Irish who does the narrating.
Eh, represent.
You're going to love that guy. I can
Yeah.
tell. He does a lot of true crimes also.
Ooh. Okay, I'll watch that later. That's exciting.
Watch it in bed. You're gonna love it.
I'm sorry, but why wouldn't they tell the chap who owns the hotel?
I don't know. They didn't
No,
tell the police. They didn't tell the hotel staff.
they didn't tell. Did they even tell the government?
No, no one knew about them.
That baffles me.
They,
Why
they,
not?
they
Oh
just they just showed up and decided to do that. Also, when they went in their hotel room, it was littered with alcohol bottles.
my
So,
God. Oh, fun.
so they were also really drunk.
No, great. Yeah, that's what you want. People who are heavily armed with sledgehammers who are completely langered. Oh yeah, that's what I want.
In that vein, there's also the story of the Irish UN army. They send them to like a country that was at war. And they're like, yeah, defend this position, and then the UN didn't help them at all. So they just defended the position with all the ammo that they had until they ran out of bullet and were forced to capitulate because they can't fight anymore. And
Yeah.
when they came back to Ireland, everyone was like, yeah, you guys are coward because you fucking surrendered to the enemy. It's like, what do you want
Oh,
them to do? They didn't have ammo.
they have left to do. What can they do?
The message they sent to the UN was like, we need reinforcement right now because we're getting attacked by an army of 1,000 plus men. There were like 110,
Oh
and
God.
against a gigantic army that was like the entire country against them. And at the end of the message they said, could do with some whiskey
Do with some whiskey.
because there are Irish.
Oh, of course. The stereotype. The stereotype.
They said it. I did. Sorry.
Oh, God, I do play into that stereotype a bit. I do like a drink, but anyway.
Stereotypes are fun in my opinion. I enjoy them, even though there's a lot of negative ones against people like me.
See, stereotypes are one of those things where you're kind of just like, like you're just like, how can I play this? How do I read the situation that's going on here with these stereotypes? Because it's like I was born in England and then I moved to Ireland because like my family's Irish and all that. So of course, like I was gonna get stereotyped. Like, and when I moved over, I was like really English,
Yeah.
and like my accent was so strong. And my friends would be like, "Oh, like you're like so English. Like, oh, you drink like tea and crumpets." And like, granted, I do drink and eat tea and crumpets. No, wait, I do drink tea and eat crumpets, but that's just because I like them. But now they're like, "Oh, like it's it's one of these things where I feel like I don't, not that I don't belong anywhere, but when I go like to England, they're like, "Oh yeah, no, you like you sound really Irish."
Yeah.
But when I come, they're like, "Oh no, like you're really English." I'm like, I don't know where I should be. I'm just gonna go live out in the middle of the ocean and just pray someone finds me.
Go to New Zealand and just confuse everyone.
Oh yeah, just be like, "Hey, what's the current?"
I like how I like how New Zealand became a meme. It was like, where's Old Zealand?
Old Zealand.
I like this kind of stupid this kind of stupid jokes.
So do I. They're actually really. They do give me a laugh. I won't lie. Wait.
They do. How do you feel about the Irish fighting a war that was almost 1,000 years against British people, British occupation?
That is a fun topic. See, I feel like wait, hold up. Wow. I just have a can of Pepsi. I feel like there's a very strong, like, wait. Okay, there we go. There's people over here that are still mad at England granted, I understand it, yeah, but you kind of have to understand like when something is in the past. Like 1916 Rising, huge event in Irish history, you know, all
Yeah,
the more power to you. But I have a friend who, like, she's Irish, like born and raised, things like that. And she went over to London for a concert with my two other friends. I wasn't there. And she was sitting, like in the tube,
yeah.
going, like in the heart of London, going, just spewing hate about England and how they should apologize. And I am sorry, but that is not the best thing to do when you're in the tube. Will Stuff will happen. You will get hurt.
I pretty much I really like the fact that the hatred Ireland has for England has survived like all these years, because you would expect the colony to like be really against them first year, and then next year, like next generation, be like, yeah, okay, like we've lived like this our entire life, but the hatred is so deep it just
Oh,
transcends.
it is so real. And it used to be really awkward because like I took history for 3 years in I nearly knocked over my bottle. Um I took history for 3 years in my junior cert, which is like a smaller version of my leaving cert. And I would sit there and anytime like I used to sit at the back of the class and anytime something about like like occupancy, I think that's the
Yeah.
word, would like come up, people would just like you can't see me right now, but I'm physically turning. They would just turn to look at me, and I'd be like, my parents are Irish, so just because I was born there, like, but like I do like say like, oh, like I'm Anglo-Irish because I am like I hold a British birth cert and like a British like passport, and I hold an Irish passport, and it's like I do have like dual nationality and things like that, and I have citizenship in both countries. But people are like, it's either one or the other, and I'm like, just leave me be myself, you know. Like I like being from both places. Don't make me pick. A
I
question I get a lot is like, if like the Olympics, they're like, oh, like what team are you supporting? I'm like, I don't know, bro.
What team are you supporting? Think carefully.
Yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, like whichever is doing like the best, I suppose. I'm going to get hung, drawn, and quartered for saying that, but anyway.
I really like actually I really dislike this kind of nationalism. I think you should be
Mm.
proud of where you're from. Don't get me wrong. But when it reaches a point where it's like so ingrained, people hate each other over it, that's kind of not as fun.
Yeah, like sometimes it can be like, oh my God.
But to be fair, to me, most countries are just jokes, because you have like all over history, you have like this civilization that went in this country, massacred everyone, took control of it, and then it broke off and this country became another one, and then reinvaded the exact same territory, remassacred the people there, and then took control of it once again. It's like you have all of this shit. So I just mean no country in the world has its real population there.
Oh, absolutely not.
Like,
And there's no country that is like purely
yeah, it
one, you know? Like
is.
there's no way in hell like that's ever gonna happen, because it's human nature to, explore and
Yeah,
like see places and things like that. Like you're never gonna find one place where it's like oh, it's just like one nationality. Like that's never gonna happen. That's never gonna exist. Like, and the fact that there's such a blend of like cultures and nationalities and things like that, like that's great. I love
yeah,
that.
yeah.
It brings so much
I
like
don't understand the bullshit of cultural appropriation at all. because
Mm.
the Italians traveled to China. They saw pasta, they brought it back, and now the pasta is used absolutely everywhere in Italian cuisine.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a staple. It's like that. So if we follow like cultural appropriation rules, none of Italian cuisine would even exist, because all of it is like based on some cuisine they saw in another country.
Yeah.
It's like that's what's amazing about culture, is that you fucking share it with people, and then sometimes you get together and you make a brand new culture. And it's like you see cultures and then you try to understand them and follow them, and they become a different culture. That's what's awesome about all of that. But now people are fucking stupid. But to be fair, it's only on Twitter. Twitter is the worst place on the planet, by the way.
I won't lie to you. I'm not on Twinder.
Good
Twinder.
Twinder.
I'm not
But
on Twinder.
you did good, dude.
Twitter scares me.
Never go
Twitter
on Twitter.
I'm actually terrified of. I'm not gonna call it Twitter anymore. I'm gonna call it Twinder because
Don't go on Twitter ever. It's such a shit show. Oops.
but it's like Twinder. Why did I call it Twinder? I mixed
You were
Tinder and
thinking
Twitter together.
Tinder is
Oh,
also a shitty platform.
I won't lie to you. One story that I don't think, well, a few people know, but I got banned off Tinder.
Why?
I don't know. They're like, oh, your account's been terminated, but it's like I wasn't on it because like I wasn't on it during school, and like I was studying for leaving cert, so I wasn't really like looking at it that much.
Yeah.
And so I think they just like banned me for like inactivity, but I've been permanently banned off Tinder, and I'm just like, hey,
Dude, I remember when I was a kid, I was like, oh man, I'm pretty lonely. Do I want to download a bunch of dating apps? And then I thought about like how if I ever downloaded all those dating apps, it would completely annihilate me because no one would date me on them, and I would feel sad about it.
doubt that. Cool. You need to
So I
give
was like,
yourself a bit of credit.
I just did.
You're a sound chap. You need to give yourself a bit of credit, you know? You know what I'm saying? Like, just confidence. Just radiate it.
Oh
I'll
man.
give, I'll manifest some confidence for you.
Don't worry about me, Kana. I've reached a point where, thanks HK, I've reached a point where I am so disillusioned with everything. Like everyone used to tell me that was just an edgy phase, like I said, that started in high school, and everyone still tells me that it's an edgy phase now. But you know, to 8 years of being the exact same, I think it's not a phase anymore.
It's not a phase, Mom.
I'm so disillusioned with everything and everyone. I don't even think I want to be in a relationship anymore.
See,
It's
relationships are one of those things where it's kind of like,
if it falls in my lap, fair. But if it doesn't, I don't think I want to go out looking for it anymore.
oh God, I can't do that to myself. You know, I couldn't do that to one person. I wouldn't make them be stuck in a relationship with me, in all honesty. I can barely stick myself. I wouldn't ask someone else to do it.
Oh,
I'd
see,
feel bad.
you need to give yourself credit too.
Nah, it's not my vibe. It's not what I'm known for.
Fair enough. Anyway, yeah. Fuck relationships, they suck.
We don't need relationships.
We don't. We can just stream on Twitch all the time and get no views.
Exactly. You know, like just be vibing, living our lives.
Do be vibing though.
I don't know, bro. Most of the time, I just try to sleep.
Me too.
I'm that bad.
I try to sleep and I never manage.
Oh, wait, back to that conversation. Drink a nighttime tea. They really help.
Nighttime tea. Hmm.
Here, wait, I'll send you a picture of a nighttime tea that I drink, and honestly, I don't think I'd get past. Like, I wouldn't be able to sleep without it. It's genuinely the only thing that puts me to bed. I'm so sorry if I sneeze. My hay fever's acting up. And
Don't worry.
I know I just don't want to blow out the mic and kill people who are using headphones. Here we go. Oh wait, shoot. Discard.
Thinking about it, nighttime tea does sound kind of good.
It is.
I might make some tea after this.
Oh, I want tea now. I'm gonna see if we have any iced tea. That's the tea. That's the tea.
Oh, dude. Oh yeah, I know
It,
that one. Actually,
it is Twinings or Twinnings. I'm not sure how you say it, but they're really good as well. I think it's Twinings. But if you mix them together, oh, you're out like a light.
oh my god, dude. Do you do how? What's your favorite flavor of tea? Tell me that.
Oh, that's a good question. See, I really like tea. It's probably one of my only personality traits. So I kind of like, this is really basic, but I like a vanilla chai. Do you know? Like kind of keep it like simple and like calm and just, but then like, or I'd have like, your classic cup of tea where it's like, you put your milk in, you have like a bit of sugar and you're dipping like hobnob in it. Oh, I'd murder for a hobnob right now. Oh my God. I I don't know why I'm hungry. I ate dinner, but the more I'm thinking about it, I'm like, yo, snacking sounds really
Hey,
good right now.
to be fair, after dinner, the one thing you want to do is eat a little bit more. Eat like something sweet.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But I'll say this, I'm a sucker for anything that's like a little bit salty. Like I had to stop like eating like crisps and like chips and things like that because I would just consume so much salt that I would be like I just wouldn't be able for it. So like I try to like not eat crisps and things like that because like A, they break me out, and B, I don't think consuming that much salt is good for me in any way, shape, or form.
Sodium. I remember there was this one guy I knew. He would take like he would buy a sandwich, and then he would just fill it with salt. Like he would put so much salt you would see like you would actually see the salt in the sandwich. Because
No.
and then he would eat it, and he would do that. At first, I thought he was making a joke, right? I was like, oh
Right.
yeah, the classic bit. I eat a lot of salt. Wow. But
Yeah.
after knowing him for more than 2 years, he would do that every time we get sandwiches. I was like, all right, you're just insane. Yeah, I guess
Crazy person.
he was crazy though.
Imagine he's eating a salt sandwich.
He would fill that he would fill all his food with salt. And like this much sodium, you would just like dry your entire mouth. How do you even enjoy anything else that's in the sandwich with that much salt?
Yeah. In all honesty, eating that much salt, it can't be good for you. It gets to a
Yes,
point where you stop tasting the other food and
yeah,
you just salt.
exactly. When you buy the sandwich, just ask them for bread with sauce in it, and then you put salt on the sauce. You fucking eat
Just,
it.
bro, just put like a bag of salt in between two like what was it, sandwich bread? No,
Yeah,
just put it 2 loaves of bread. No, not 2 loaves.
just eat salt. Don't even get the sandwich.
Just sit like on a chair with a bag of salt in front of you and a spoon and just dig in.
I feel like I don't like At that point where he with how much salt he consumed, would he not just enjoy it, like he genuinely enjoyed that?
See, the thing is, how would he not be thirsty all the time?
I don't know. I cannot tell you. The people are a mystery to me, dude. Why do you think I hate people so much? I don't want to be anywhere near around those animals.
I mean, true, true. But it's like, I mean, there's some people out there, and you're like, whoa, what's going on? Like,
All people are like that.
I used to have a friend, and I don't know why he would do this, but what he would do, this is like a weird food combination, and like, if like people out there like it, like more power to you, you know? But to me, it's I would never think of putting these two things together. He would like melt cheese and then put sugar on top of it. And I was like,
Skeleton.
what gets you what inspired that? Like what started that? You
I,
know?
I hate that. For me, one of the weirdest thing I ever did in my life was I made fries, but there wasn't a lot of fries, right? There was like maybe 30 fries. And I was like, oh shit, there's not enough fries for me to eat and enjoy myself. And I was like, how can I make this like more greasy so that I don't feel as hungry after eating it? So I got shredded cheese and ketchup, and
Oh,
I put ketchup on the like all over the fries and then melted cheese on top, and then I put all of it into the microwave.
was it good though?
Yes, it was amazing. I ate it with a fork. It was like the
Wait, it
the cheese on top was like hardened a little bit, and I was like, oh man, this is really great. But after I was done eating it, I looked back on my action. I was like, oh man, that was horrible of me to do.
You're like, I regret this decision.
I should have never done that. That was a crime against nature.
Oh my God. But it's like, God, what is there? Like, what can you? There's so many weird food combinations. But like,
To be fair, a lot of people do weird shit,
yeah.
and the people are like, oh yeah, that's normal. Like for example, wearing a skirt. That's fucking weird, but everyone does it, so I guess it's normal.
What do you mean wearing a skirt? I wear
You're
skirt.
you're wearing
Oh,
you're wearing a piece of cloth that isn't attached to anything. It doesn't protect you from anything either.
I know, but bro, I look stylish.
Yeah, exactly. You just look like the best thing you could wear is like Crocs because they're really comfortable, but no one wears them because it's like not socially accepted.
I don't know. Crocs are kind of making a comeback.
Cro-
Crocs kind of coming back in a way.
I will never forgive people outside for judging me for wearing Crocs. I wear them inside, I wear them outside. I go on the roof to do repairs in Crocs because I'm cool.
You're a Croc kind of fella. Fair
Cro-
play. Fair
Croc
play.
Crocs are awesome, dude. They're so comfortable. It's
I don't
nice
remember. I wore a pair of Crocs.
it's nice to wear a shoe that allows air to go in it so your fucking foot isn't sweaty.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
it's cool. Or
Okay, would you rather wear
would
like a
I
pair of like sneakers, like pair of sneakers or a pair of Crocs?
would I what? I didn't hear you, sorry.
Would you rather wear like a pair of sneakers or like a pair of Crocs?
I would rather wear a pair of Crocs unless it was raining. Then yeah, sure, sneakers would be better. But if I could go to school with Crocs and socks, I'd do that.
No, not Crocs and socks.
Dude, I would wear Crocs and socks to school every day
Oh,
without a hint of irony.
You'd be like, look at me in my Crocs and socks.
Look at
Fashion
this.
statement.
I am a fashion statement indeed.
You were living the good life. You're being a fashion icon. Edna Mode has got nothing on you.
I whenever I go for a walk outside, I usually take my Crocs and I fucking walk in the woods and I'm having the time of my life. I think the only bad thing about Crocs is that if I fuck up a branch could go through it and pierce my feet
Yeah, see, that's the one thing about Crocs.
and killing
I'd be
me
like,
instantly.
it's like stepping on a piece of Lego.
Oh boy, Legos.
I, I haven't done, I haven't
And
played with it.
did you play Lego as a kid?
Um, in all honesty, I don't actually remember a lot from my childhood. Uh, let me think. Yeah, I probably did. Like I played with like Duplo in like reception or like kindergarten and things like that.
Yeah.
So like I don't think I actually played with like Lego.
Dude,
Um,
Legos are fucking mwah. When I was a
are they good?
kid, when I was a kid, I used to play in school,
Mhm.
and we had like a plaque where you would put Legos on, and every kid in the class would fight for one of those plaques every time because we only
Were
had
they like
three.
with like a big like green mat and they'd
Yeah,
have like oh yeah.
I fucking hated that a lot. I would usually just ignore it and just play Legos by myself.
Fair play, fair play.
I,
That's I'd do that in all honesty. Like
now
if I was Lego, I'd be like, I'm gonna play Legos by myself.
thinking back on it, I'm going to be real here. I think I just hated everyone's day one because
You're like, "No,
every
so when
time every time I think back on school, every story I have is like, yeah, kids did that and I hated it, so I played by myself.
fair play, fair play. Oh my goodness.
What did the other kids do for me though? They were assholes. I deserve to play by myself.
Friendship, bro.
The
You could
fuck,
have been like, hey, you wanna play Legos?
fuck
Yeah,
friendship. There was no cute girl in my class. There's no point in having childhood friends. There was no Aubrey, there was no Kel. There's our character from Omori.
oh my gosh.
There was no one. They were all shit. And I hated them.
Oh my goodness. Good guy. I mean, thinking back to my childhood. But oh, I would have two best friends. I used to do like when I was younger, like I used to do like full days in school.
Yeah.
And like so I'd five and I'd be in from like nine till like three or like half two. But some kids would only do like half days. So some would come in like for the first like for the morning classes and some would come in the afternoon. And my friends used to be on separate times. So I would have a morning best friend and then an afternoon best friend. But then the two classes kind of merged into like full day classes. I would feel so bad playing with my morning best friend during the afternoon. You know, 'cause I'd be like, this is the time I spend with my afternoon best friend. It was, it was, I was a very torn child. I was like, I feel bad playing with my other friend.
God. That's so relatable. Feeling guilty as a kid never makes sense.
The guilt I felt was unfathomable. I recently learned how to say that word, unfathomable. I'm very
Unfathomable.
proud. And no, wait, un, damn it, unfathomable. Yeah, because before I was like fathomable.
Fathomable.
Like that one scene in Megamind. They took Megamind off Netflix.
Dude,
Genuinely. That's the saddest I've been in a while when they took Megamind off Netflix.
We need to get the Megamind back on Netflix. Guys, please
They
share
just
this share this stream.
get Megamind back on Netflix.
I don't
For
understand Netflix, dude. You okay, so hear me out. Netflix is like an internet service, right?
yeah,
It makes sense that Netflix would allow you to see anything from any country, right? Because it shouldn't be region locked. Like if you want to watch a show from Canada and you're in the United States, you should be able to, because the people who
yeah.
make the show in Canada would just make more money. Like it's for everyone's interest. But
No, yeah.
Netflix is like, oh no, you can't watch this show. Sorry.
It's like, bro, I don't want to buy a VPN.
Yeah, I need to buy NordVPN, I guess.
I need to buy a VPN in all honesty. For like college and stuff, so like my stuff doesn't get stolen. Like knowing me, it would be, you know.
That is so shit, dude. That's so shit. The- you have to?
No, I don't have to, but knowing me, I would get my data stolen.
Yeah,
So I probably should because I'm that kind of clumsy.
bruh. I really hope your shit doesn't get stolen. Getting your data stolen is an actual nightmare.
I'm very lucky that it hasn't happened to me as of yet, but
It's
I'm
scary.
very clumsy. So, has it happened to you? That's a
Uh,
personal question.
no, it has never happened to me personally because I'm completely paranoid. There isn't a mention of my full name online anywhere because of how paranoid I am about people being able to steal my data. But that doesn't stop people from like being able to get into my Google account or anything like that. No matter how big my password is, my password is 40 characters long.
Oh my God. I can't
Uh,
even remember what my password is. I kind of just do it from muscle memory.
I have a huge Google password, and then I have a 40 character long LastPass password, and I know those two by heart. But all my other password are 20 characters long, and they're all in LastPass.
Ooh, that's a lot of characters to remember. I can barely remember how to spell my own name. So,
Me neither, dude. I once told someone that was 19 years old, even though I was 21.
gosh. Can I be honest with you? This is really embarrassing.
What?
I don't know how to spell one of my middle names.
Dude, that's absolutely understandable.
It's
I'm
like no one
I'm
calls
being
me
real
by that.
here, by the way. I'm not joking.
Appreciate it. No, but in all honesty, it's kind of embarrassing though. Like it's one of my legal names. No clue how to spell it.
Well, if you've never had to use it, it makes sense that you wouldn't exactly know how to spell it.
Well, see, the thing is, it's on my birth cert and both of my passports.
Yeah, but
So
that's
I don't
okay.
know how to spell it.
That's okay. Come on.
No, bro. I need to learn how to spell it before I go to college.
Nah, it's okay. You know, be like me. Ignore the problem. Ignore anyone that tells you that it's a problem, and soon enough it'll go away.
That's the motto.
That's what
That's
I did for my problem with my teacher when she fell down the stairs.
oh my gosh. Good.
You just ignore it, dude. Trust me.
Ignore the issue and it'll just disappear.
Yeah.
Don't let it happen. Don't let it consume your life.
Skello said you have multiple middle names? Question mark.
I do. I've got two, but
Ooh.
I'm not gonna.
Don't worry. I'm not gonna make you say your name live.
I'm not gonna dox myself. I do that enough.
Understandable.
Like I have there's, like, a group of friends like on Discord, and like I've doxed like my name, like my age. you know. But
It,
it's grand. Like they're grand. They're dandy. They
they
don't care.
they are cool.
I'd be like, oh, we know you're,
We know where
we
you
know
live.
you're, you know.
Ah, man. By the way, on the topic of jobs that we were talking about earlier, what do you think of me? I want to be working from home because I hate other humans so much. I want to have like a degree of separation between me and other people.
It's fair play to you. That is working from home is a hard thing to do because it's hard to separate like that work home like balance.
Yeah,
But like the fact that like that's like that you want to do that and that's really admirable, you know, like fair play to you. Because like there's a lot of people who can't do that. Like they can't separate being home from working.
yeah,
And like that really showed like over like the last lockdown when people were working from home and were working like we're doing schoolwork at home and they
yeah,
found it difficult to separate like doing work and then doing like home stuff, you know?
exactly. That's if I ever become like a semi big person online, I definitely want to be like make a an office type of place, right?
Yeah,
I wanna buy an office and have all my shit be there, so I can work there, so I can like go from home, go to my office, work, and then come back home and do whatever home stuff I want to do at home. I feel like
exactly.
it would do wonders for like the time that I actually spent working, because when you're like at work, you're like, okay, I'm at work at like I just have to work. Like I can't do anything else. When you're at home, you just have everything around you to make you not want to work.
Yeah. And it's like when I was doing like doing school from home, like during lockdown, things like that, like I found it so difficult to separate like doing like work and then doing like stuff from home. And I would find like they would blend into each other and like because I'd be sitting at a computer, you know, seven
Yeah,
hours a day, like sitting there like looking at the same computer and then having to do like homework off the computer because like some people didn't have like their books and like the teachers would put like up resources online and things like that. And it's just like I won't lie to you, like I would have 40 minutes for lunch and during that 40 minutes I would sleep. Like I'd eat and then I'd go to bed. I'm like a baby. I eat and then I sleep. But like it's so difficult to separate like being at work and then being at home, but like having like being able to go into like the office and things like
yeah,
that. Like that's really handy. So like if like when you do like become like I can tell you're gonna become big. But um like having like a different space from where you do like your work and then like having stuff at home, that will really like benefit you. Do you know what I mean? And it
yeah.
gives you that like switch off and just be, you know, you.
I'll probably buy like a garage and
Yeah.
set up my shit there. It's not like a bad looking, horrible garage. I mean, like a really nice one.
Yeah.
Because I don't really need like a big ass, unless I work with other people, and in that case, I'll probably still just buy a fucking apartment building
Yeah.
and like set up office there. I don't want to have an amazing office with like all the shit on the walls and everything. I just want to have a place to go to, you know.
Yeah. And have it like kind of comfy, kind of
Yeah,
relaxed environment where you can work and like chat and things like that, but like you feel like you're actually okay, I'm here, so I should work. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. I'll probably also set it up for like other people to be able to come and work with me if they want to.
Oh yeah, exactly. Oh, exactly. That's exactly what you'd have. Like that's the exact kind of thing that you'd want to have. Just have it like a nice, gentle vibe, you know,
Yeah,
relax, all that good stuff.
yeah. having, like, for example, if you have a couch in your office,
Hmm.
isn't that like the best thing ever?
Yeah.
Unironically, because you can go and fucking lay down on the couch.
And have a nap on that couch,
Yeah, the
just be like, I'm going for a 2 minute nap,
it
2 hour nap. I'm just gonna take a snooze.
it sounds like it sounds like it's nothing to have like a couch in your office, but it makes so much difference because you just fucking go, you lay down, you're like, oh yeah,
Be like, "Snooze, I can have a break."
yeah, exactly. I'm looking forward to a possible future online as a content creator. I'd love to be a content creator, honestly.
Oh no, see, I can see it, like the way, like I don't know, like I could see you doing like being like a content creator and things like that. Like it suits you. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's yeah.
I hope. I really hope. I have big hopes for the future. I don't even want to be like a gigantic creator that everyone knows, like Dream, for example. I don't need that kind of like clout. I just want to have enough to be like comfortable, I'd say.
Exactly. Yeah. No, exactly. And that's really good to have something like that to like strive
Yeah.
towards.
I don't need to be the most relevant man on the planet. I
That
I feel like if I had like 20 views constant, I would already be like over the moon about it. I wouldn't need more.
exactly, yeah. See, like, and people are desperate. Like that's what a lot of people want. They want like a bit of fame, and like that's
Yeah.
why TikTok, like Instagram, and all them, like they're so popular because of that.
Yeah.
Like there's like people go viral on TikTok for no reason.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. But you steal someone else's joke and you become famous.
Yeah, madness.
Bruh moment and a half right there.
Uh, So it's like I have a TikTok account and I like post every now and then and things like that. But I'm doing it for me. Like I'm doing it because I like doing like little videos and things like that.
As
Like
long as you're enjoying yourself.
exactly, yeah, and
As
that's the main thing. Like if you're enjoying yourself, like
yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
one thing, it's a driving force, in all honesty.
Yeah, exactly. When I was a kid, dude, when I enjoyed something, I used to be able to do it for hours nonstop.
Yeah.
And with age, that kind of left me. Like, for example, I completely stopped playing video games, 100%. And
Yeah.
when I started streaming, for the first time in like what 7 years, I actually enjoyed playing video games again. And it was like,
Exactly. Yeah.
this feel awesome. This is awesome. I love doing this. Now
And it,
it does get kind of frustrating when you're not making any progress online, even though you want to.
yeah, but you kind of have to step back from that and be like like you have to do it for some like you see it as kind of more wait, I have to try and put my thoughts in order now.
Yeah, go ahead, take your time.
Formulating sentences, not my best thing. Um, like I get what you mean, like you want to see like you're putting in all this effort and you want to see the results. And
Yeah,
sometimes you're like, "Rah, like I just want to see the results.
yeah,
And you have to like accept like that they will come. They will like it might take a while, but like if you put in like the hard work and the dedication, things like that, it'll happen, and you will get like what you want. And like I'm a big believer of like if you put out like positive like vibes and things like that, like what you put out will come back to you.
yeah.
So if you believe in yourself, like it will, I believe it will happen. But yeah,
I'll I believe it. I believe it too. I believe that everything can happen as long as you like hold out for it enough.
oh exactly. Oh exactly. And that's the only thing you can do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. You can only work towards a goal and hope for it to work. Like you
Exactly.
don't have that many goals that you can just go, okay, I'm gonna work towards that, and then it's going to happen 100%.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Like most of the time, you just have to keep going, and maybe it's gonna work.
Yeah.
But the
And
longer you hold out, the most more chances you have.
exactly, exactly. And it's like you could be doing this for 10 years and then it'll hit you, or you could be doing it for 3 months and it'll hit you. Do you know what I mean? And it all really depends on like yes, it's a bit of luck. It's a bit of like wishing, but at the same time, it's like at the end of the day, it is a big game of luck. But if you put in the hard work and people like see that you are, people will like gather and come to watch and things like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's all yeah, law of attraction.
Oh man, this is. I think this is one of the like chillest podcasts I've done.
This is a vibe. I'm loving it.
We've just been vibing together. We've been at it for 2 hours. Do you want to keep going or
I
finish
don't
it
mind
here?
whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do.
Hmm.
If you
The,
want to sleep, if you want to sleep, you go and have a nap.
the only problem for me is that it's 3 a.m. and I'm gonna start having troubles if I speak too loudly. So I usually stop around this point. We could keep
Yeah,
going a little bit more if you want.
I don't mind. Whatever you want to do. I'm having the time of my life. Uh,
Okay.
It's whatever.
Let's
It's
keep.
your
Let's reach.
decision.
Let's go to. We're at 1 hour and 57 minutes. Let's do like 2 hours and some
Yeah,
change, and then we can
that's
stop there.
deadly.
Let's talk about drinking water.
Oh, that's. I am very dehydrated.
Me too.
Really dehydrated. I drank a glass of water
the
and my headache went away.
Dude, I have been. I did the same today. I told.
You,
I,
we used to drink more water.
I,
Do
I,
you know what?
yeah.
I'll every now and then I'll just DM you and be like, "Have you drank water today?"
Yeah.
Just be like,
It will always be a no. I have this big glass made out of plastic, which is like 1 liter and 1.5 liter, right?
hmm
And I usually fill it with water, drink it completely, and then fill it a second time and drink it again, which is 3 liters of water a day, right? But today, when I looked at it, I had water mushrooms growing in it, and I was like,
bro.
all right. So I filled it with bleach, and I left it downstairs. But the problem is
Yeah.
that my drinking habit is connected to this glass. So since I don't have it, I just didn't drink anything all day long. And I reached to like a little bit before the stream, and I was like, oh man, I feel like I'm gonna pass out. I don't feel good. So I drank a glass of water, and I was like, oh man, I feel better.
We're like, we should really drink more water in general.
People need to drink so much water to survive normally. It's like it's good for your skin, it's good for your brain, it's good for everything inside of you because it just flushes your entire system. And I never drink any water except when I have this particular glass.
Yeah. No, we need to drink more water, in all honesty. This is not good.
Did you ever have did you ever have the feeling where you drink water and you feel it like you feel it go through your entire system?
Yeah. And you're like, whoa.
You're like, oh man, this is good.
And oh, nothing is better than when you're sitting, like, it's a really hot day, right? And someone
Yeah.
hands you, like, a glass of water and you can feel it,
Yeah.
like, go down. You're like, ah, it's just
Oh man.
bliss.
In Belgium, you have some companies that brew their own Coke, right?
Oh,
It's like it's not brand like the store brand. I mean,
oh yeah.
it's not cheap. It's like actual like really like well made Coke. And I drank one day, and I can assure you that Coca Cola compared to this is sewer water.
Yeah.
It it tasted so good,
Damn, I
and
want to try it now.
it it tasted like you would expect a Coke to taste like when you see it in a commercial and it's like full of ice and everything.
Oh yeah, just
And
heaven.
yeah, and you can imagine how it tastes. It tasted like that, and I drank it, and it was amazing. I loved it.
I want to try that. Damn.
The only problem is that it's really expensive.
Oh well, it would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because it's like actual a brand name, really well made drink compared to Coke, which is just shit.
It's just heaven in a glass.
I never had Fiji water. Also, it is true that that anything compared to Coke is sewer water,
Mm.
including sewer water.
Oh God.
Did you ever drink Fiji water, Kana?
I have had Fiji water. Like when I was in TY, so this is when I was like 16. I used to be like, oh my God, like I really like Fiji water. Like I'd never had it. And so I was like, oh, have you ever had it? And I was like, no. So then I went and tried it and I would only drink Fiji water.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, which was so dumb because I would go to the shop and buy Fiji water and I'd be like, yo, this is expensive, you know? Like that's not like I'm a 16-year-old. I cannot be spending like €5 on water. This is madness. So then we stopped. But it was water. I'm gonna say that. I feel like people who are like, oh yeah, like the crisp taste of it. I'm like, yo,
Yeah, water just tastes like water.
if they had actually poured it from, you know, the heavens itself, or if they got it from the tap, I wouldn't know the difference.
Yeah, exactly.
Wa- Water is water at the end of the day. People just buy it for the bottle.
I
Like,
did you ever buy something off Amazon? Like, but I don't mean like something. I mean food. Did you ever buy food off Amazon?
I don't think I've ever bought food out. Oh, do you have a story? Do you have an Amazon
Dude,
food story?
dude, do you remember when I bought 2 kilograms of candy off of Amazon?
You bought. I'm proud of you.
I finished the 2 kilograms of candy in like 3 days. I ate all of it,
Fair play.
and I thought I was going to die. But that's not the worst part. I bought 4 kilograms of cereal off Amazon, and I ate all of it
Oh my God, that's a lot of cereal.
in like 3 days. Too,
Wait,
and
what type of cereal though?
it was chocolate. It's like a little capsule, and then inside of it you have chocolate.
That sounds lovely.
It's an actual heaven. Wait, I can actually send it to you so you see what I'm
Dude,
talking about.
I don't eat that much cereal now that I think about it. Like, I would rather have a bowl of cereal at night.
I eat cereal all the time, especially at night. It's like a really good snack.
Yeah.
I barely eat cereal during the day.
I I don't like eating breakfast because I'm never hungry when I wake up. But like yeah, like I'd have like a slice of toast or like maybe scrambled eggs if I'm doing an exam or something. Oh, that looks good.
I never eat breakfast either, to be honest.
I
I,
don't particularly like breakfast. I'm just like just give me like a cup of coffee and I'll be grand. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, I personally I like drinking juice when I wake up, but I don't really like eating because whenever I eat, it feels like when I wake up, it feels like I'm gonna puke right after for some reason.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I gotcha.
It's like my
But my
stomach isn't woken up yet.
Oh, yeah. But mind you, again, like I said before, I'm like a baby. I eat and then I have to sleep after. Like it was so bad. In like when I was at home during school, like I would, eat my lunch and then I would take my nap.
Yeah.
And then but when and I'd be sitting in the first class after lunch being like, don't fall asleep. Like I'd be holding my eyes open. I'd be like, don't sleep, don't sleep, don't sleep. And the teachers would see it because everyone else was doing it too. And we'd be all, like we'd be sitting in our chairs and our heads would be bobbing. And you could tell that the teacher's like, oh, these lads are falling asleep. And I used to hate it because almost all the time I would have business after lunch. And bless her, I love business. Business is a great subject, but the way that the teacher taught it was a natural sleeping aid. So I'd be sitting there and I'd be like, "Don't fall asleep," and I would cover my face with my hand, and I'd just have like my finger on like a random word in the book, and I'd be like, my eyes would be like closing, and I'd be like, "Don't sleep, don't fall asleep."
I remember one time I was falling asleep in class and I put my hand on my eyes and I held my eyes open with my fingers. Uh,
And no,
but I just fell asleep with my eyes open, being
oh
held by
my
my
God.
by my fingers. Just and the teacher talked to me, thinking that I was awake.
Wait. And you were just there. I
And, and my friend grabbed my shoulder and shook me, and I woke up and I was like, "What?" It's like you were sleeping with your eyes open.
That is a skill. That is a skill.
It's the if you were falling asleep, holding your eyes open isn't gonna do anything. You just keep falling asleep. There,
Um,
there's no way around it. Like when you start falling, you fall.
oh yeah. If you're in all honesty, if I'm gonna have a snooze, I'm gonna have a snooze. Like there's no
Yeah,
stopping me. Like
exactly.
I didn't sleep great last night, but like I never sleep great anyway, so it doesn't matter. And I was meeting my friend today, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna have like a nap. And I said to my brother, wake me up in 15 minutes. And he woke me up and I wanted to kill him. I was like, no, you should have let me sleep. I was like, leave me sleep. But like obviously like I couldn't sleep, so I had to do stuff and then meet my friend. So like I was happy he woke me up, but at the same time I was like, yo, just leave me rest. Leave
The
me rest.
to be fair, whenever you wake up, the last day, whenever you're asleep, you don't want anyone to wake you up ever.
Oh, never, 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 never.
You just want to sleep all the way to the point where you wake up naturally.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, and it's like my sleep schedule is now ruined because I wake up at like I will wake up naturally at like 8 o'clock for like as like a force of habit from school, and then I'd go back to sleep until like sometimes maybe like 11, and then I'll get up and be like, oh my God, half the day is gone.
That's how I do it all the time. Since I've stopped going to school and because of the pandemic, I've been at home a lot and I just sleep weirdly.
Yeah, my
So
sleep schedule.
night terrors keep fucking waking me up at horrible hours.
Less.
I hate night terrors. They're so fucking bad. They
I used to
ruin.
know like I like don't get night terrors. Like I don't know what that would be like. Like bless you. You know.
They're just like, they're just nightmares, but you feel like they are real because
Wow.
you can like feel things touching you and shit. It's kind of freaky. You get used to it after a while, but sometimes you get like they stop, and then you have like a normal sleep a few days, and then you have bam another night terror, and you're like, oh shit. And
Oh God.
it's like Well, the lack of sleep. The more you stay awake, the more likely you are to just get night terrors because of sleep deprivation. So you're just kind of
Yeah.
stuck in an infinite loop of dying constantly.
Oh God. It's oh bless you.
It's
Oh,
okay. I'll I'll survive.
you better.
I've
You
been,
better.
I've been having night terrors for quite some time now.
Yes, yeah. Like I've never had night terrors. I can obviously like I have the occasional nightmare and things like that. But like I could never like until I get night terrors, like I will never understand like what they're like, you know?
Nah, they're mm, it's actually kind of hard to explain what how they are exactly,
Yeah.
but they're just shit. That's all that matters.
The best way to describe them.
It's yeah, it's the easiest it's the easiest way to describe them.
Sure, yeah. Sure you do your best, you know what I mean?
Oh man. All right, I think I'm gonna stop the stream right about
Deadly.
now.
That was fun.
It was fun. I've had a lot of fun today.
Yeah. This is right crap.
I
I enjoyed
like
it.
I like podcasting with friends.
Yeah, this is great. Yeah. I won't lie to you, I was really nervous beforehand.
You shouldn't be. You were great. This was great.
This is great. I love it. Thanks for having me.
It was a pleasure. It was my pleasure. Next time I should bring a glass of water with me. Now that I think about it, my
Next
entire mouth is dry from talking so much.
next time I'll DM you. I'll be like, yo, get a glass of water.
I'll make you my co-host, dude. So I get so I
Dude.
get the so I get the views because you're a girl.
Oh my God.
There's the classic Twitch joke. You're a girl, so you get more views.
Is it actually how it is? Or is it like, is
Uh,
that just like stereotype?
absolutely not. It's really not how it is. Uh, how I'd explain it to you is that like um, if you're a girl, you have somewhat a little bit more chance of people like donating to you and sticking around. Sure.
Yeah.
But the chances of someone showing up on your stream are the exact same as a male streamer.
Yeah.
So a girl can maybe get to a mid game of streaming really easily, but like
Yeah.
getting to the point of being like a big streamer, that's impossible. Meanwhile, a male will usually stay like at the bottom tier and then explode and become a big streamer instantly. So like
Damn.
both, and also men don't have to deal with fucking sexual harassment, so that's
Yeah. True.
that's kind of cool.
Alma. Alma, make a Twitch.
If you start doing Twitch, I'll shoot you. I'll shoot you. I want to see. I shout you out,
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
dude.
Gosh, I
You could do so much shit. You could podcast with me again.
yo, I'd love to podcast with you again. This is great crack. I had
I
so much fun.
I wanna do a big podcast with a bunch of people one day, like a whole
Ooh.
VC,
Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
12
That'd
people
be oh,
screaming.
that'd be so many voices at once.
It would be so many voices. We'd need to set up a little thing so that people know who's talking.
Like you know what they do like with like children? It's like, oh, like who's holding like the llama? Whoever's holding the llama gets to see.
Exactly.
Um, I'd love that. No, this was great crack. I really enjoyed my time. Very happy that you asked me to be here, and I'm just yeah.
It was a pleasure. I'll probably re-invite you later on.
Well, thank you, thank you. I'd love to be back.
So yeah. Thanks a lot for showing up, Kana. Thanks everyone for showing up to the stream. We're gonna be raiding Ark today because he's online. And I want to raid that asshole. He's nice. He's actually a really cool guy. / raid. Do you want to say something, Kana?
Um, um, uh, I don't know what to say. Again, just thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. And we will drink more water. That's a promise.
Hell yeah, let's drink one day on stream. So that definitely won't end up bad.
It's a pinky promise.
Alright.
A pinky promise. Everyone here will drink more water.
We will all drink. Alright, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye. Oh, good God. That was great.